Hello everyone, welcome to G Investigates, and today we delve into another tragic case with you. Julia Simmons found herself in a challenging situation, sharing a residence with Stephen Nicholas, a divorced day trader residing in his three-bedroom home just outside of Portland, Oregon. Their paths crossed online when Julia, searching for a place to rent, found Stephen charming and amiable. Living together, Stephen developed an infatuation with Julia's 20-year-old daughter, Rhonda, who was 10 years younger than him. Charmed by her beauty and captivated by her personality, Stephen and Rhonda commenced a romantic relationship. Over time, their connection deepened, leading them to decide to live together. Rhonda moved into Stephen's condo, and as their bond grew stronger, Stephen formed close ties with Rhonda's family, particularly with her younger sisters, Melanie and Tessa. Initially, Tessa, who was only 9 when Stephen and Rhonda began dating, found him to be incredibly fun and playful. Years passed, and the couple continued their committed relationship without tying the knot. Rhonda, despite wanting to get married, cherished her role as a mother after giving birth to their daughter. Although she loved being a mom, Rhonda also yearned to revive her modeling career. Stephen shared that after the birth of their daughter, Rhonda felt uncomfortable with her weight, and they committed to hiking the 25 best trails in Oregon together as a way to lose weight. According to Stephen, their relationship was thriving, and they rarely argued, believing they had become stronger than ever. However, Rhonda's friends revealed a different narrative, sharing that Rhonda had confided in them about Stephen's abusive behavior. She even documented bruises caused by a fight with Stephen, capturing pictures of her back using a mirror. On March 16, 2009, Stephen and 23-year-old Rhonda went on a hike on the Eagle Creek Trail. As they walked, Rhonda jokingly texted her mother that Stephen would either give her a ring or throw her off a cliff. The weather took a turn for the worse, and Stephen claimed that Rhonda, exhibiting strange behavior, wrapped a towel around her shoulders, declared herself Supergirl, and began running down the slippery pathway. Stephen alleged that he witnessed Rhonda slipping and falling approximately 150 feet off the Eagle Creek Trail. Unable to get cell service, he hiked down to the ravine where she landed, attempted to call 911 without success, and regrettably had to leave her behind. According to Stephen, he walked to the trailhead, where he eventually managed to contact emergency services. Later that day, rescue workers removed Rhonda's body. Contrary to what Rhonda's family expected, Stephen showed no emotion during her memorial service. Stephen, however, claims the exact opposite is true. He insists that he was crying non-stop, explaining that when he gets really sad, he shuts people out and prefers to be alone. Shortly after Rhonda's death, Stephen packed up his and their daughter's belongings and relocated to the other side of Oregon, living near his family. This move left Rhonda's family feeling suspicious. They wondered about the events leading up to Rhonda's death. In 2006, Stephen made a pivotal decision to move from the United States to China, marking a new chapter in his life with his young daughter in tow. Stephen settled in Wuxi, a city approximately 75 miles outside of Shanghai. Having lived in China during his first marriage, Stephen developed a love for the country and its people. While in China, Stephen taught English to Chinese business people. His daughter quickly adjusted to life there, becoming fluent in Mandarin within 2 months of moving. Stephen met and fell in love with a woman named Landy Yin Yan. Landy and his daughter formed a strong bond, with Landy assuming a motherly role. Stephen appreciated Landy's support in embracing the parental figure role for his daughter. After a year of dating, Stephen decided to take the relationship to the next level, proposing to Landy, who joyfully accepted in February 2015. Stephen and his daughter flew back to the United States, planning 2 ceremonies, one in America and one in China, to accommodate both families and friends. They arrived in the United States one day before his fiancée. As they disembarked the plane in San Francisco, an officer approached Stephen, informing him of an issue with his bag. Unbeknownst to him, this encounter would set off a chain of events that would change his life forever. Minutes later, the police arrived, separating Stephen from his daughter. Detectives, unbeknownst to Stephen, had been diligently working on Rhonda's death investigation. Suspicious circumstances surrounding Rhonda's fall from Eagle Creek prompted them to continue the inquiry, leading to the conclusion that Stephen was responsible for her death. Rhonda's mother played a crucial role in keeping the investigation open, regularly reaching out to the detectives for updates. The police arrested Stephen at the airport for Rhonda's murder and extradited him to Oregon. Stephen, upon arrest, expressed disbelief, hoping it was a dream and he would wake up at home in China with Landy. However, it was real life. Initially set at $2 million, Stephen's bail was later reduced to $250,000, and after spending 14 months behind bars awaiting trial, he was released with an ankle monitor. When Rhonda's family learned of Stephen's arrest, they were overjoyed, feeling that justice was finally being served. Rhonda's mother, in particular, couldn't contain her emotions, bursting into tears upon hearing the news. Stephen's arrest brought relief and solace to Rhonda's loved ones, who had been mourning her loss for years. After Stephen's arrest, his attorney took his investigative team to the Eagle Creek Trail, conducting experiments to prove that Rhonda slipped in an accident and was not pushed by Stephen. During preliminary hearings, the medical examiner who performed Rhonda's autopsy indicated that all her injuries were below her waist, a pivotal discovery for Stephen's defense strategy. It provided them with an opportunity to argue that Rhonda had taken her own life. The defense team presented evidence about Rhonda's injuries and sought to use notes from her therapy sessions as additional proof. In court, Stephen's defense team argued that the impact of hitting the ground caused Rhonda's broken pelvis and provided evidence that she had fallen feet first, rather than tumbling head over heels, suggesting she had taken her own life. Alongside evidence about Rhonda's injuries, the defense aimed to utilize notes from her therapy sessions, emphasizing the importance of mental health in the tragic incident. Despite these arguments, the prosecution countered by presenting a compelling case. Detectives revealed that during Stephen's entire time living in China, they had been actively investigating Rhonda's death. Suspicious circumstances surrounding her fall from Eagle Creek prompted them to continue the inquiry, leading to the conclusion that Stephen was responsible for her death. Guilty to the lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide, Stephen admitted to the crime, acknowledging his role in Rhonda's tragic death. Although the state believed he had murdered her, they knew the case against him was weak due to the lack of physical evidence proving he had pushed her from the trail at Eagle Creek. Stephen was given credit for the time he served while awaiting trial. However, he had to remain on parole for 3 years. His ankle monitor was eventually removed, and he was released from custody. To Rhonda's family and friends, Stephen's taking a plea deal felt like an inadequate form of justice. They believed he should have faced harsher consequences for his actions. During Stephen's sentencing hearing, Rhonda's sister delivered an impactful statement expressing anger and frustration, accusing him of destroying her whole family and causing immense pain and sorrow. Rhonda's mother also shared her confusion and frustration, unable to comprehend how Stephen could have taken away her daughter, leaving their family shattered. Stephen claimed that he had not pushed Rhonda, but had taken the deal because time was running out for him to regain custody of his daughter. He stated that he had been willing to face the consequences of his actions for the sake of his child. However, despite Stephen's claims, Rhonda's family and friends remained unconvinced. In a 2018 interview, Stephen made a startling allegation regarding the fate of Rhonda. According to him, on the day of her fatal fall, she was still alive when he hiked down Eagle Creek Trail and found her. When the interviewer questioned if he had put Rhonda out of her misery that day, Stephen responded with a hypothetical question, suggesting that such an act could be considered a justified homicide, even though it was still a homicide. While Stephen never explicitly admitted to harming Rhonda, his comments alluded to the possibility of his involvement in her death. In 2017, Rhonda's mother applied for Social Security survivor benefits on behalf of Rhonda's infant daughter. She claimed that her granddaughter lived with her, and she promised to use the benefits solely for the baby's care. However, the state alleged that between April 2010 and December 2014, when Rhonda's mother claimed the little girl lived with her, she had, in fact, been living with her father, Stephen. The state charged Rhonda's mother with theft of government funds, totaling nearly $40,000 over 5 years. Rhonda's mother's defense attorneys asserted that her actions were driven by a determination to prevent Stephen from gaining custody of his and Rhonda's daughter, not wanting him to capitalize on the $1 million life insurance policy he had taken out on Rhonda's life. The defense argued that her actions were motivated by a desire to protect her granddaughter and ensure she was not exploited. According to the defense, Rhonda's mother had a history of depression which intensified after her daughter's death. To cope with her grief, she relied on marijuana as a means to self-medicate. The defense team contended that she used the drug as a crutch, which clouded her judgment and impaired her ability to think clearly. The judge sentenced Rhonda's mother, at the age of 53, to 1 month in a halfway house and 3 years of probation. This sentence was imposed after she pleaded guilty to the theft of government funds. In addition to the jail time and probation, Rhonda's mother was also ordered to pay back the stolen benefits, amounting to $39,100. Rhonda and Stephen's daughter had been in foster care since the Department of Human Services took custody of her in October 2015. This decision was made after Stephen pleaded guilty to abuse in the case of a 13-year-old girl. As a result, an Oregon court terminated his parental rights. However, Stephen appealed this decision. If you found this documentary engaging, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more intriguing true crime stories. Your support encourages us to continue exploring and bringing you thought-provoking content. Thank you for watching.